The heart of high school wrestling is here in Adams County, and nobody covers it like WZBD.
You guys got a heck of a view.
It's time for Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly.
Everybody wants to be there.
This is the coolest thing in the world.
90 minutes of interviews, results, discussions, and prognostications.
I'm excited.
As Hall of Famer Rex Brewer and Dane Filling bring you another episode.
We hope that you can join us here
Live from
The Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille.
on Channel Z,
I'm excited.
92.7 FM.
Unmute us now. Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille for our next episode of the High School Wrestling Weekly. Rex Brewer along with Dane Filling and joined by our special guest, the Iron Bear, Gary Myers. And Dane, we all had the burgers tonight, and I'm glad that Jason has went to the burger special. Started last couple weeks ago, and each week it has a custom burger. And that custom burger tonight was the smash burger. That's what Gary and I had, and it was delicious.
I had the buffalo chicken dip burger, and first one I've ever had, and I would recommend it. I'm going to tell both Troy and Kathy that they should attempt it. It was awfully good. Buffalo chicken dip burger. Well, Rex, it's been a long weekend of wrestling. You know, you and I had the day off yesterday, so what do? Went and watched more wrestling.
My wife said, "Where'd you go?" And I said, "I went to watch some wrestling." And she said, "Really?" I said, "I didn't have to work. I just got to shoot the breeze and enjoy myself."
I thought I was going to have the day off from you, and I showed up, and you were sitting right there, so... Thankfully, that left the kids to sit with Uncle Rex while I went and took some pictures. So, obviously, we're joined by Gary here in our first couple of segments. As we get further into the show, we are going to reveal the seeds for the girls' team state tournament on Saturday, and we're going to draw the unseeded teams into that bracket 16-team tournament. We'll talk about more in a little bit. We're also going to be joined by Wade McClurg later on in the show as we talk a little bit of Fort Wayne area wrestling as we get ready and geared up for these conference tournaments this coming weekend. We'll talk about the transition between, team, dual, those types of things, and then gearing up for individual tournaments. And, we've been talking so much the last couple of weeks, I feel like, on guys trying to belly out, guys trying to not get stuck, trying to keep it to 8 points, those types of things. Outside of a few instances where you may want to do that because the guy you're wrestling is on the team that's chasing you, most of those considerations go out the window.
Yep.
And so you're not really looking to keep it to a 14-point loss, but how can you put yourself in a position to hit one move when you're down by 14 to come up with the win, even if it ends up resulting in your own fall?
There's the new scoring has really changed things. Used to be if you're down 10 points, you've seen guys kind of pack it in, but 10 points is not that far away. You get a takedown and a set of near fall, cut the guy another takedown and a couple more near fall, you're back in the game.
Yeah, it definitely has changed things. And, we talked to – you had the Delta match, and I had Belmont and Yorktown, and I was setting Gus up about Austin Manley in his match. And believe it or not, in the third period, he brings out a big throw and scores with it. But it's just one of those things, you know that there are guys who are in every match – no matter what. And it does lead to a false sense, right? As in, this guy's just a little bit better than this guy. But 12 points doesn't really show that in that kind of ways. We were talking off air before the show about the difference in college wrestlers. Sometimes just comes down to a double leg ranking, right? And one guy who is going to finish 8th at the NCAAs this year may get taken down 4 times in a match on the double leg by the guy who's 4th, and there's really not that much difference between them. Same kind of thing when you're talking about these dual meets. The scoring has definitely changed that.
Well, I'll tell you, as a coach, when I see it, we're up 8-0, I'm still not relaxed. I'm like, this could change on a dime.
Well, first off, we want to congratulate Whiteland for an outstanding tournament. I think 99.5 points, and they absolutely dominated on Friday. But really, I thought the storyline to Friday, along with all the returning state champs, was really the parity, in that there were so many teams involved from 100 to 235 that it really didn't feel like one team was dominating. The Whiteland girls definitely fed off of each other, but I thought that the parity, I think we have 77 teams who had a state medalist out of 121. So 77 teams and 112 medalists, right?
You know, Whiteland kind of ran away with the team score, but there were other teams, like from 3 through 6 or 7, were pretty tight.
I'm just getting a text message here from a married couple who are also coaches, wearing a little less sequins tonight than they were on Friday. Let you guess who that is.
I told Dane that they overloaded, they maxed out on the sequin factor.
I think maybe we ought to get some sequins.
I don't look good in sequins. That's too much flash for me there, Gary.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, I guess we're going to talk about the girls' state finals here in our next segment as well, but we got a couple minutes before we go to our first break. What's your big takeaway from Friday overall? I thought it was a great success. You guys had good weather. I thought attendance was good. Overall, it seemed like a pretty successful day.
Yeah, it was ran smoothly, right? And the one thing I noticed that these girls are hard to turn, they're so flexible. It's hard to, I'm watching girls almost turn them clear over and their body's still staying in one spot. It's the flexibility is definitely different than the girls from the boys, but the tournament ran smoothly. There was a lot of, I thought there was upsets, up and down the board, and the girls' wrestling is really, really good.
Well, Dane made the point. There was 13 returning state champions, and I think there were 4 weight classes where returning state champions going against each other, so somebody was not going to be a returning state champion.
Yeah, and those matchups were a lot of fun. There were a couple times where I saw 2 opponents and I thought, oh, this is going to be a first period fall, and they ended up duking it out till end of the third period, last takedown wins. A couple matches went to overtime that I wouldn't have expected them to, and sometimes I think when you get to the boys' state finals, there are boys who psych themselves out, right? They read into the rankings. They think about it too much. They overthink it. They've got their sights set on, well, I'm not good enough to be a medalist. My goal is to get to state, and whatever happens from there,
yes,
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think you got that from a lot of the girls on Friday.
No, they wrestled lights out. Every one of them thought they had a chance, and that's great to see.
Well, we'll dive deeper into those brackets and give a couple of shout-outs to some of the individuals who really impressed us, and we'll do that right after this first break.
Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new, or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair.
When faced with the difficult task of making arrangements for your loved one, many emotions and questions arise. What would they want me to do if they were here? Where is the money coming from? How much should I spend? Do they want burial or cremation? The staff at Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt Funeral Home can help you navigate these tough questions. Make your wishes known and allow us to make sure that your wishes are carried out. Call Ryan Hirschy or Eric Zelt at 260-724-7167 to schedule an appointment today.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille for another segment of the High School Wrestling Weekly. Now we're getting ready to talk about Girls Teams Day, right?
We're going to talk about the girls' state finals first.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
We'll run through those brackets and just make a couple of passing comments, I think. Let's just start at the beginning. At 100 pounds, Caitlin Foudy is your winner from Whiteland. It was a really entertaining weight class. You had the big match there in the quarterfinals between her and Claire May. That was 3-2. And on the other side of the bracket, you had freshman Adeline Sisson from Floyd Central make the semifinals and finish fourth. We had a chance to talk to her during our broadcast on Friday. And as promised, I don't know if Coach Sisson is watching. I got my Floyd Central shirt on that I can show later on. We're going to talk to Coach Sisson later on in the show, so I'll save it for then. Then at 105 pounds, as I scroll down, Ella Nybert was your champion from Indian Creek. Undefeated sophomore takes out Sophia Carper of Jimtown. And the thing we're going to take away from Carper is her warm-up routine with her pink tutu. And that just, I don't know, speaks to the different flair that the girls bring to this tournament that just kind of makes you smile.
You know, everybody asked me about Isabella Ocampo in that match, and we knew that had been a problem for the last couple of years. It usually happened after the match, but for this time, she had a medical event during the match, and she was up 7-0 in that match. So how that comes out differently, we don't know. But I tell you what, she was a gamer, and they thought that maybe she could come back, but she injury defaults out for fourth place.
Then at 110 pounds, Haley Corporal ends up third. She was ranked number 1, and instead it's Lizzie Dowdy who wins her second state title, 1 in cross country and 1 in wrestling.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Quite an athlete, and they said during the introductions that she was headed to the University of Louisville. Adams County's had a couple of athletes who have ended up at Louisville, and they have an exceptional track and field and both distance and field events and all that kind of stuff. So kudos to her. What a talented young lady.
That was a good matchup. I know the other girl from spring training and stuff. So.
Then at 115, Kendall Moe wins the title with a 17-1 tech fall over the very impressive freshman Mariah Morfitt of Whiteland. And at 120, it was Michaela Perkins from Whiteland, another Whiteland champ. And Rex, you were impressed with her all day.
Yeah, I mean, she was just right there the whole time, and she dominated her matches leading up to the finals. But Kendall Moe, the first 4-timer of the evening, and she laid it out there and let people know why she was a 4-timer.
Dominated.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
Yeah, it was definitely a crowning event for her, if you want to put it that way. She got her time to really show off her talents, and she made the most of it. At 125, then your champion was the freshman Corabella Wesley, and I've got my Hobart shirt on tonight after I promised her that we would wear it on Friday.
Did you skip 20?
No, I said 20.
Perkins?
Yep.
Okay.
I asked you about her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was up weight class. Perkins was as dominant as anybody. She was one of those people that looked like she spent a lot of time in the weight room. She was physically stronger than everybody she wrestled.
Yeah. I mean, we noticed it from the very first round, right? I mean, the first time that you got to look at her to wrestle, she was wrestling. I don't remember. I have to look back at the bracket now because I jumped forward. Perkins. Oh, she was wrestling Marissa Schneider from East Noble, who we've interviewed before and knew a lot about. And she texts her in like 2 minutes.
Perkins probably the best blast double I've seen in a long time. I mean, she was picking girls up off the mat.
For somebody her size, for sure.
And Wesley, we were mostly impressed by her socks with her coach's faces on it. Coach Cook's faces on there. And then I get a text from a buddy of mine that I wrestled with in college who asked me if I'd interviewed her because he's a former Brickie himself, and thought it was really cool. He said she was runner-up in the nation in this past summer.
Well, we talked to Coach Westberg at the beginning of the year. That's what we told Corabella in her interview. She had no idea who we were or that we have a radio show. It was kind of funny.
She could have been talking to a guy on the corner, and it would have made a difference.
We could have been the guy popping the popcorn in the concession stand. But no, she was very soft-spoken, had a very different attitude off the mat. But from everything that we heard from those coaches, she is bubbly and fun to be around, but a hard worker in the room, and it certainly showed off as a freshman state champ at 125 pounds. At 130, you hate to make predictions like this, but I mean, Ava Strayer is going to be a 4-time undefeated state champion. I mean, at this point, what you've seen from her, who's going to beat her?
Without a doubt.
And she's part of that Crown Point team that is exceptionally talented top to bottom, and they're doing everything right there, building up that girls program just like they've done with the boys program. 135, a great finals match. It was the match that we were touting last week during our show.
Yeah.
Naima Ghaffar wins 10-5 over Nevaeh Wilson.
And they had flipped a couple of times. I know Wilson had one win over at the regional. So, I mean, that was not a real rubber match, but those are two real fine wrestlers there.
At 140, a little bit like Mo, Maddie Marsh, she gets her tech fall in the first period, and that was kind of a crowning for her as well. And don't forget, she's just a junior, and she's still got another year left. So I don't think that you're going to get a crossover between her and Strayer. I'm sure they'll be far enough apart in terms of weight. But once again, like, who's going to beat Maddie Marsh next year?
You know, I was impressed with the coach Tantes. What's the plural for Tantes?
Tanta. Yeah.
Avalos Diaz in the finals. I mean, she pretty much dominated matches on the way to the finals before she ran into Marsh.
Yeah, she had 2 falls and the major over Kennedy 9 to get to the finals, and then a 15-0 tech fall. Diaz-Avalos has had a heck of a career over the last 4 years, and certainly has set the bar high for everybody in that Franklin program going forward. At 145, the match of the night in the finals, of course, was Charisma Lawrence with the takedown at the end to win it 3-2 over Ava Allen. And once again, Ava Allen's had an outstanding 4-year career, but Charisma, she gave us an interesting interview. She didn't know what to say when, once again, I don't think she had any idea who we were. We could have been the guys putting the hot dogs on the rollers, but talking to the Maldonados and the other guys associated with Maryville, she is a joy to coach and a great athlete. And you heard her giving credit in her speech afterwards to her mom and her stepdad and her dad and all this, and just a great example of the kind of girls who are leading the sport forward.
Very fittingly named Charisma, because she has a lot of charisma now. Now, she's the one, and I said, now you think your coach David Maldonado's old? I refereed his matches, and she goes,
she said, oh, you're not.
She said, oh, sir, you're too young to do that. It's like, thank you very much.
She was the only person on the day who called me sir. So I appreciated that about her. Then at 155, I said it in the finals when we called her match that Alex Bastajic is probably, when it comes down to it, the most decorated wrestler Indiana's ever seen up to her senior year as far as the sport of girls wrestling. A lot of the early pioneers did it against the boys, right? But as far as what she's done nationally and all the way back from when we covered the state finals 3 years ago, hearing her name for the first time, you realize that she was something special, and she finishes it off with a 4th state title.
Now, Gary, she's one of those girls that when she come off the mat, Greg Rakestraw interviewed, it's like she wasn't even breathing hard. I mean, she's just that good. She just dominated all day long.
Yeah, and who was her opponent there? Was that
Skinner?
Yeah, Maley, right?
Yeah, Maley Skinner.
Listen, I spent some of the off season with her traveling, and she's a great wrestler. So for her to win in that fashion says a lot about her.
Yeah, Skinner had a great run to get to the finals.
Yeah.
Then at 170 pounds, it was freshman Annabelle Redmond who comes up with the title with a fall. And that was one of those weight classes where we really didn't know what to expect. Your finalists at 170 are a freshman and a sophomore, and they take out some of the more experienced girls early on in the bracket And that's those are two names that we're going to hear again next year for sure, especially coming from very established programs like Columbus East, last year's state champion, Crown Point, potential state champion on the team side this year. So we'll hear their names.
You know, what you're seeing now.
What are you saying? He cut out.
There we go.
There you
What
go.
you're seeing now is, we started this girls' state championship. The state championships, not 10 years ago. Now you're starting to see those girls that had started wrestling in kindergarten or whatever. Now they're
Let me do something here for you. Let's go. Try that, Gary.
okay. Now you see them as freshmen dominating. You're like, they've had that lead time, but most haven't.
I think it's just headset. Go ahead, keep talking.
No, it just goes around. But anyways, you're just now seeing. So now you're just seeing the accumulation of these girls having years of training. When we started, that wasn't happening. So you're starting to see freshmen dominate.
Then we were having all kinds of fun. I can't hear myself.
Oh.
Timeout. We'll get there eventually.
Keep talking.
Check 1, 2.
Hello, this is Joel from your local hometown Package Liquors. Package Liquors provides the best selection of domestic, import, and craft beers in Z-Lane. With locations in Decatur, Monroe, Bern, and Markle, you're always just a short drive away from picking up the perfect last-minute gift or just the right six-pack to watch the game with friends. You're never a stranger when you walk through the doors, and our smiling staff never has a problem giving you a recommendation when you're not sure what it is you need. Stop in at one of our 4 locations and see what hometown service looks like. Package Liquors, it's where your friends shop.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
First Bank of Bern is proud to serve as the only local bank in Adams County. I'm Jessica Zerker with First Bank of Bern in Decatur. We believe that a bank's strength is rooted in the prosperity of the communities it serves. This drives our commitment to nurturing the success of businesses in our local area. We provide our customers with easy-to-use banking solutions and exceptional service as part of our dedication to fostering their growth. Whether it's through loans, lines of credit, cash management, or other tailored services, First Bank of Bern stands ready to support your business in thriving and prospering. First Bank of Bern, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
The staff at Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt Funeral Home is honored to serve the community we love and live in. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Hirschy and Eric Zelt, we understand that each family we serve and each life lived tells a unique story. Our goal is to offer comfort, care, and dignity to all who entrust their loved ones to our care. We are proud to call Adams County our home and look forward to serving you for generations to come.
Welcome back here to a game of musical chairs as we try to figure out which plug goes in the right spot. We're getting there. Let's give a shout out to the last 2 girls state champions. Erin Cobble, more impressive than her fall in the final was her ability to both interview and speak intelligently and cry at the same time. I've never seen anybody who's able to talk through crying like she did in her interview. And I think that, when you look at it and you try to look at it from a wholesome point of view, that had to make you feel something, Gary, because boy, did it mean something to her.
Man, I spent time with her going to Florida and Iowa this past season, and she worked hard. And I can tell you, she grinded it out for us, and she did outstanding for us for the team nationals and stuff. And, you know, she's the only girl. I had a team. I said, I'm going to bring one alternate. And I told Shepard, I said, you make sure you bring her. I go, she's going to be a difference maker on our team. And, boy, she was. And I gave her a hug after she had won the championship, but she wanted that bad.
Then at 235 pounds, now, of course, Wilson and Gaffar was a great match. But when it comes down to it, the championship match at 235 pounds was it was worth staying. And for those of you who left early, shame
on you. Yeah.
As you had the new state champ, Aubrey Bartowiak, and Rachel Adolphi, last year's state champ, going head-to-head. And we didn't think that it was going to end up in a fall, but it ended up in a fall, and it was an impressive one. And Aubrey Bartowiak from Attica, which I think Greg mentioned that maybe only 60 kids in that graduating class. Just very impressive to come from a small school like that and to work so hard. And then welcome back. Rex, you had us on mute. That's what it was. Let's go back to it, Gary.
Yeah.
We are not going to give up. We got to give credit to Erin Cobble.
Yes.
Erin Cobble had a great tournament, and at 190 pounds, she gets the fall. And we were talking when we were on mute that she's the only person that we've ever seen be able to talk so coherently and intelligently while also crying her eyes out in absolute joy.
What a great night for her, right? What a great night. She worked hard in the offseason, probably harder than anybody I ever saw. She was determined to be there, and that's why it meant so much.
Then at 235 pounds, we were just discussing how much it meant and how hard Aubrey Bartowiak worked to get back to her spot in the state finals and to come back and win it against the defending state champion, Rachel Adolphi, who was so impressive with the 3 falls getting her way to the finals.
Yes.
That you knew it was going to be a big head-to-head clash. That would have been one to feature with the whole crowd there. Unfortunately, so many people left that I don't think a lot of people got to see what was not your typical upper weight match for the girls.
Look, that should be featured on ESPN this week.
I saw it on the internet. I saw somebody had somebody posted that, and they had the first part of it where she got blasted right to her back and bridged forever.
Yeah.
And they were playing this comeback music, and then they showed her and the next point turning over and getting a pin. But my funniest part of that whole thing is Adolphi had the big hair right down her back.
Yes.
When she went to start, Bartowiak just knocked that out of her way and said, "Excuse me, I'm going to take my position here."
Yeah, she, but, you know, she had found her way in that position. I was saying earlier, found her way into those positions, the national duels, but she was able to fight her way out and come back and get the win. So I think this was natural for her to find herself in that situation and be able to get out of it.
So with that, can we go to a commercial and we'll start talking about girls team state right after this break here.
Sure, we can do that. Here, just a second. Here we go.
You hear it all the time. Do you have the right insurance coverage? But are you really taking that question seriously? Josh Book may be stationed in his home office in Noble County, but he's ready to serve you if you're listening to this broadcast, no matter what county you're in, and help you get the best insurance for your farm, business, or home. A proud insurance agent with Farm Bureau Insurance, Josh is ready to have a conversation with you about the rates you're paying and the coverage you're getting. Give him a call and have that important conversation with an experienced Farm Bureau agent today. Find out more at infarmbureau.com.
If you're serious about taking your wrestling to the next level, then Warrior RTC Wrestling Club is the place to be. Every Sunday at 4:30 and Wednesday at 6, boys and girls from different elementary, middle, and high schools come together to build skills, confidence, and lifelong friendships. With high-level experienced coaches and a positive training atmosphere, every Warrior learns to work hard and have fun doing it. Whether you're chasing your first medal or your next state title, Warrior RTC will help you in your relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Visit online at warriorrtc.com to learn more about the year-round wrestling opportunities and train like a champion.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Bern, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
When faced with the difficult task of making arrangements for your loved one, many emotions and questions arise. What would they want me to do if they were here? Where is the money coming from? How much should I spend? Do they want burial or cremation? The staff at Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt Funeral Home can help you navigate these tough questions. Make your wishes known and allow us to make sure that your wishes are carried out. Call Ryan Hirschy or Eric Zelt at 260-724-7167 to schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back once again to the High School Wrestling Weekly, hosted here by the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille. Rex Brewer and Dane Filling, and we're still joined by our special guest, Coach Gary Myers.
Well, it's time to talk about our featured content here on our show this evening, and that is the girls team state tournament. Now, last year, this was something that you worked really hard on, Gary, and put together. It's the week after the individual state finals, much like the old IHSAA format, right?
Yes.
And last year, you brought 16 girls to, what was your location last year?
Fishers High School.
You had it at Fishers, and Maryville came out as the champion there, 47-34. They beat Franklin Central. And Jay County took third, Franklin Community fourth. And the basic setup of this tournament is you take the 16 sectional champions.
Yes.
And invite all of them. And then you, I think, verified with most of them that they were willing to participate. A couple teams have backed out, but we won't worry about that. We'll worry about the teams who are really excited about competing in this competition. And so basically, you've taken the Indiana MAT rankings, you've looked them over, and you've seeded the top 8 teams. And then tonight we're going to draw the 8 unseeded teams randomly and put them in. That'll have the bracket put together. Now this tournament is Saturday. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the location?
Okay, so it's the Finch Arena. It's the new Finch Arena across from the Ruoff Center, and we'll be running off 8 mats. The 16 teams, and everybody will get 4 duels, right?
And you said you're going to wrestle it all the way out.
Yeah, wrestle it all the way out. And the Finch Arena is a pretty big place, and it's fairly new. But I think they call it like Precision Comfort as the official title, but it's on the building. It's the Finch Arena. So.
And you'll have a 1 pound allowance for all the girls from, in addition to the regular 2 pound allowance.
Yes.
And it's a 9 a.m. start, and you'll have 8 mats, and
yes.
so you'll wrestle 4 rounds, and it'll honestly probably go pretty quickly. As
yes.
So not only does the sectional championship for the girls get them the trophy, but now also gets them a spot in this team state tournament this year. So pretty cool. So why don't we make sure I have this right as to how I wanted to do this.
Dane, we have to make sure we tell the people we asked the Hoosier Lottery for the balls that
yes,
pop out.
They did.
They were not available.
They didn't give them to us, so we'll have to work.
We went high tech.
We'll have to work. Let's work on the seeds first, and then we'll go. So your number 1 seed overall going to be the Crown Point Bulldogs, who looked outstanding. Of course, they had a state champion in Ava Strayer on Friday, and they ended up as the state runners-up, 78.5 points they scored. That would have been enough to win last year's tournament,
Yes.
but of course Whiteland had such a great tournament. They had 6 state qualifiers there, and they will be your number 1 overall seed. They will be followed by Franklin Central, who will be on the opposite side of the bracket from Crown Point. They'll be the number 2 seed, and then the number 3 seed will be the Hobart Brickies. And Hobart were 3rd at the team state tournament. I got my Hobart shirt on. And Rex, that is our cue here for us to call Coach Westberg. I'll type it in there for you.
I love when a plan comes together.
There you go. He's awaiting our phone call.
You sure he is?
Yeah.
Hello, this is Rex Brewer, Dane Filling, and Coach Gary Myers. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Oh, good.
Well, Coach, we had a chance to talk to you very, very early on in the season, and you told us a little bit about one of your freshmen that you thought was pretty good, and here we are 2 days later. She's won a state title. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
It was very impressive, and she was very, very humble in her winning in her interview.
Oh, yeah, she's always, to me, I always feel like she's very quiet, doesn't say much. She's out there to get the job done and wrestle hard.
So we're talking about the team state tournament for the girls here. You guys are going to be the number 3 overall seed out of the 16 teams. Tell us a little bit about what you've done as far as getting the girls excited about this event, what your plans are, and what you think your odds are.
To me, I feel like we should be in the finals. I feel like it'll probably be, is Crown Point number 1?
Yes.
So be us in Crown Point.
Yeah, Crown Point
that's
Crown Point number 1, Franklin Central number 2, and you guys are number 3.
Yeah, because we haven't wrestled Franklin Central, but I know that's going to be a tough one. So we're going to have to look into that one, see how we're going to do in our matchups. But earlier in the season, it came down to the very last match. I think we lost by 2 points to Crown Point. So I feel like that's going to be a close one still, and it's going to be very exciting. But we still got 2 more matches before we make it there to the semifinals.
Tell us a little bit about what having an individual state champion is potentially going to do for the program going forward for years to come.
For our program, I feel like it's going to get more girls excited to come out for wrestling, especially for the girls in middle school who saw Corabella wrestle all through the ages coming up through the club. We have a lot more girls in our club system that are in our elementary league. So I feel like we can achieve the same goal. We can keep working hard and just build our program further.
Awesome, Coach. Well, I'm sure you had as long as, or maybe even longer of a weekend than we did because of Friday and the wrestling Saturday, and probably some youth things today. But make sure that you tell your girls to enjoy this week of extra preparation and extra practice, and to give it their all on Saturday.
Well, we'll do. Thank you.
Once again, that was Thomas Westberg, the head coach of the Hobart Brickies. They are the number 3 overall seed in the team state tournament this year. And the number 4 seed then will be Mooresville. And the number 5 seed will be Franklin. And let's see if I can get this right. Rex got a different phone than I do. Those numbers are backwards from each other once you type them in the second time. Here we go. Let's see if we can. Tina Tante.
To the 4th or 5th seed?
I'm earlier. 5th.
Okay.
Hi, this is Tina Tante. Feel free to leave me a message and I'll call you back.
Oh, we jumped the gun. We jumped the gun.
Sorry, Coach.
That's okay. I had her later on, and then I looked at my script incorrectly. We'll pick her up a little later on. Along with Franklin Community being the number 5 seed, Logansport will be the number 6 seed. And Hamilton Southeastern then will be number 7. And the number 8 seed then will be Central Noble. So those are your 8 seeds. Let's review them again. Crown Point number 1, Franklin Central number 2, Hobart number 3, Mooresville 4, Franklin Community 5, Logansport 6. Hamilton Southeastern will be the number 7 seed, and Central Noble will be number 8. So Rex, now that we got the top 8 seeds out of the way, why don't we go ahead and play around to commercials, and then we'll start drawing the unseeded teams after this.
Here we go.
First Bank of Bern is proud to serve as the only local bank in Adams County. I'm Jessica Zerker with First Bank of Bern in Decatur. We believe that a bank's strength is rooted in the prosperity of the communities it serves. This drives our commitment to nurturing the success of businesses in our local area. We provide our customers with easy-to-use banking solutions and exceptional service as part of our dedication to fostering their growth. Whether it's through loans, lines of credit, cash management, or other tailored services, First Bank of Bern stands ready to support your business in thriving and prospering. First Bank of Bern, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season. Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new, or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Welcome back once again to the Haggard, Hirschy, Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly, live from the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille. And we do have our last patron from that commercial, Nate Bowers, in the house tonight.
And Mr. Warrior himself as
And
well.
Warrior
Later
has
on
made
coming
his way.
on, we're going to talk a little bit about the
That's
boys' side of things.
Mr. and Mrs. Warrior.
My
Mr. and Mrs. Bowers.
my phone is absolutely lighting up here. Why don't you get me one more? Let's make one more phone call here. As we talk about these seeds, and I just texted one coach, and he said, "Yeah, I'm watching." so answer, Coach Strayer.
Hello.
Good evening, Coach. This is High School Wrestling Weekly calling. You ready for our phone call?
Sure.
Well, Coach, you've been watching us, so we just announced that you guys are going to be the number 1 seed for Saturday's team state tournament. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You guys certainly had a great tournament on Friday, and your girls were a lot of fun to watch. And obviously, Ava winning the state title was icing on the cake.
That was nice. We had a really good tournament. We wanted to do a little bit better, but just wasn't our day. Our girls wrestled very, very well. We just had a few things just didn't go our way. But all in all, it was a great semi-ending to our season.
So with 6 girls qualifying for state, to come away with 78.5 points was a pretty darn good showing.
It was. We had some of them, we kind of expected we're going to score points. But we had a 120-pounder that beat a girl in the first round to advance that she had lost to earlier this year. That was big for us. Our 170-pounder, Jada Miller, started wrestling in September, made it to the finals. That was unexpected.
We were hoping she could do something like that and prove to the state that she's really a wrestler, but she really shocked everybody this weekend.
Now, on the dual meet side of things, you guys have been up towards the top of the dual rankings on Indiana Mat. Your record is, I have 18-0, and you've wrestled a lot of the teams in the top 10. You've got a win over Mooresville, who are the number 4 seed, and you have 2 wins, or at least 1 win over Hobart, who are the 3 seed. So you guys have seen some of these top teams already.
We have, and this was a goal of ours when we had our exit interviews with the team last season. One of our goals was to get to team state. Obviously, that means that we beat Maryville in the sectionals, which was also a goal. So we're really excited about this. It's been on our radar all year as a goal as a team. One thing we really like about this tournament is in wrestling, you know, as in the boys' side, you got sectionals, regionals, semi-state, state, and you lose wrestlers along the way. To help keep the girls excited, I said, do you know how fortunate we are that we get to finish our season together? I mean, this is a really cool format.
Well, growing up right in the middle of when the boys had this same format, that was always one of the great things for Belmont, is that they were able to continue to keep everybody in the room all the way through the individual state finals, because there was still another hard week of practice, because team state was the ultimate goal. So definitely kudos to you for having your girls prep for that and using that as the extra motivation.
Well, thank you.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you jumping on here on short notice, and we wish you the best of luck, and see if you guys can move one step higher on the podium, a second-place finish at the individual state, and maybe a first-place finish at team state.
Well, that is our goal, and thank you, and we'll see you on Saturday.
So that was Coach Strayer of Crown Point.
Let's see, do I have a mic yet? I do.
Hey, you sound a little bit different sound to you, but
yeah,
at least
this is a $35 headset. They don't sound as good as a $200 headset.
It sounds like you've got a cold.
Yeah, no,
Rex.
I'm good.
Okay, are we ready to? Since we just talked to Coach Strayer, let's go ahead and draw one of these teams out of the hat here. It's not really a hat; it's just a styrofoam bowl. Let's not be too. We're not fooling anybody. We're on camera, are we not? Are we ready? Are we going to put it up in front of the?
Yes.
We're gonna. I don't know if my handwriting is good enough.
Oh no.
Crown Point will take on Plymouth.
They can't see that.
They can't see. That's okay. You take my word for it.
Yes,
Plymouth, right?
that's Plymouth.
So Crown Point will take on Plymouth in the opening round. Once again, this is a 16-team tournament, so the 8 seeded teams against the 8 unseeded teams, and then the winners will move and guarantee themselves a top 8 spot. The losing teams will guarantee themselves that they are going to finish somewhere between 9th and 16th, and they're going to wrestle all the way out to 16th place. We now will draw the opponent for number 2 seed, Franklin Central. Franklin Central will wrestle Lawrence Central. So a matchup of
it's white
teams.
out.
That's okay.
It washes it out.
I'm going to show it to prove it, and we are going to be joined by the head coach of Lawrence Central later on in the show. And let's draw one more before we go to our next call-in guest here. See if I can time this up correctly. Gary drew this one. This will be the opponent of Coach Westberg's Hobart Brickies, and it is Floyd Central. And with that, I promise I may be wearing a Hobart shirt and a Floyd Central shirt. That was random. So let's go ahead and talk to Coach Sisson of Floyd Central. All these guys got different area codes.
Yes.
We're calling every corner of the state. I don't think we've talked to a single 260 person yet.
Who's the 502?
That is Coach Sisson. Louisville, Kentucky. Do I need to take the shirt off?
Louisville, Kentucky.
No mess with your headset.
Okay. Whatever you do.
Yeah.
Coach Sisson.
Hey.
This is Dane Filling from the High School Wrestling Weekly. Haven't seen you in a while. It's only been 2 days.
I know. How's it going?
Hey,
I want to first start off say, hey, I'm not going to bring the entertainment value of a Mike Weimer or Chris Cooper, but I appreciate you guys having me on. So.
Well, you don't have anything prepared for tonight? Is that what you're telling us?
No screaming or hanging up on you or anything like that. So.
Well, we appreciate that. The mic drop was not something that we were prepared for. Well, I don't know if you've been watching in the last minute, but I came to the show tonight wearing a Floyd Central T-shirt and a Hobart hoodie, and I just drew you guys against each other. So now I look kind of funny.
Well, I was watching, and I didn't get to see the last draw, and I didn't know who we had drawn, but so we get to wrestle Hobart.
Yeah, Hobart in the first round.
Awesome. Good deal.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you guys have been treating this as a program.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty awesome. You know, I was looking back 5 years ago, we had one girl on the team. My daughter was coming up through the youth program, but and then we went 2 years without anybody, then to 6 to 11 to 16 girls on the team. And I think this is just going to help boost our program in the right direction. You know, being able to take part in something like this is a pretty awesome deal. You know, the girls, we have a board in the room that shows the guys where they've, you know, participated in team state and all that. And we're in the process, as we do well, we've been adding their boards, state qualifiers, sectionals, state placer now, you know, pretty awesome. And now they get to have their own board with the team state, and that's a pretty cool thing. So.
Well, I congratulate you on the sectional title and a spot in team state, but I also want to talk to you as dad. I know I texted you on, Friday night and Saturday morning kind of blend together for me right now. But
yeah, me too.
It had to been a pretty darn good feeling. And, you know, as you were saying, maybe 5 or 10 years ago when you were the dad of a younger child, you probably didn't necessarily know that you were going to be coaching one of your kids as a state placer. That had to feel pretty good.
Yeah, you know, just kind of at the beginning of the year to make the girls feel comfortable, they were like, I let them ask me anything. And one of the girls said, "Are you sad that you never had a boy?" And, you know, and I said, I'm going to be honest, you know, when I had a kid, that girls wrestling wasn't something, you know, and it wasn't something I was going to get to share with my child, and that made me real sad. And, you know, through USA Wrestling and Sally Roberts and Wrestle Like a Girl, it's just been awesome that started kind of as my child was born, and I never thought I would get that opportunity. And so to be able to experience that with my daughter was, you know, something I didn't think was going to get to happen, you know, when you're having kids. And I am just ultra grateful of the IHSA and everybody that helped build it to where it is. It's just so awesome, not just for my daughter, but all the girls for sure, you know, so.
Well, Coach, congratulations on all the accolades so far this season, and good luck on having a great week of practice, and we wish you the best of luck on Saturday.
Yeah, we're super excited. Thanks for having us.
Hey, Coach, one thing that they've always determined that wrestling coaches, if you have all girls, it's called Dan Gable's disease.
Yes, I know. I mean, Mike Minna was my coach at IU. He had all girls. Dwayne had 2 girls and a son, his last one. So, yeah, I get it. It's the Dan Gable thing.
Well,
for sure.
now it opens up that it really doesn't matter, because we saw some fantastic girl wrestlers on Saturday. So congratulations, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right, let's see you. Thanks.
There you go.
And we'll draw one more here before we go to our next commercial break, and that'll be Rex's opportunity to queue up his stuff over there. And I'll draw this one here. And this will be Mooresville's opponent. Mooresville, the number 4 seed on the top half of the bracket, opposite of Crown Point. And Mooresville will take on Benton Central in their opening round match.
So with that, let's send it for a round of commercials. Back with more High School Wrestling Weekly right after these messages.
You hear it all the time. Do you have the right insurance coverage, but are you really taking that question seriously? Josh Book may be stationed in his home office in Noble County, but he's ready to serve you if you're listening to this broadcast, no matter what county you're in, and help you get the best insurance for your farm, business, or home. A proud insurance agent with Farm Bureau Insurance, Josh is ready to have a conversation with you about the rates you're paying and the coverage you're getting. Give him a call and have that important conversation with an experienced Farm Bureau agent today. Find out more at infarmbureau.com.
The staff at Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt Funeral Home is honored to serve the community we love and live in. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Hirschy and Eric Zelt, we understand that each family we serve and each life lived tells a unique story. Our goal is to offer comfort, care, and dignity to all who entrust their loved ones to our care. We are proud to call Adams County our home and look forward to serving you for generations to come.
Hello, this is Joel from your local hometown Package Liquors. Package Liquors provides the best selection of domestic, import, and craft beers in Zeeland. With locations in Decatur, Monroe, Bern, and Markle, you're always just a short drive away from picking up the perfect last-minute gift or just the right six-pack to watch the game with friends. You're never a stranger when you walk through the doors, and our smiling staff never has a problem giving you a recommendation when you're not sure what it is you need. Stop in at one of our 4 locations and see what hometown service looks like. Package Liquors, it's where your friends shop.
If you're serious about taking your wrestling to the next level, then Warrior RTC Wrestling Club is the place to be. Every Sunday at 4:30 and Wednesday at 6, boys and girls from different elementary, middle, and high schools come together to build skills, confidence, and lifelong friendships. With high-level experienced coaches and a positive training atmosphere, every Warrior learns to work hard and have fun doing it. Whether you're chasing your first medal or your next state title, Warrior RTC will help you in your relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Visit online at warriorrtc.com to learn more about the year-round wrestling opportunities and train like a champion.
Welcome back once again to the Haggard Hirschy Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly, hosted here by the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille, and we're into our final segment. Do you want me to dial up Coach Tantai?
Sure.
Let's do that. I'll have that.
See if she'll answer this time. We were going to tell her what a great phone-in guest she is compared to Jim, but if she declines the second time.
Hello?
Hello, is this Coach Tante?
Yes, it is.
I could hear the sequence through the phone, so I figured it was you. Welcome to the show tonight. How are you doing?
Oh, we're doing great.
Well, we're used to talking to Jim during this show, but we wanted to talk to you because we're about to draw your opponent for the first round of the Team State Tournament on Saturday. Are you ready?
We're excited. Yep. We're together, actually.
So far, Crown Point number 1, they'll wrestle Plymouth. Franklin Central, the 2 seed, will wrestle Lawrence Central. The 3 seed, Hobart, will wrestle Floyd Central. And Mooresville, the number 4 seed, will take on Benton Central. And we're going to draw your opponent out of the hat right now. And it will be Frankton. It's going to be a mouthful for the announcer to say Franklin and Frankton. But you guys will take on the Frankton Eagles in the first round with a matchup against Mooresville potentially looming in the quarterfinals. Now, we've asked a couple of coaches already in the show how you've been preparing and getting ready for the Team State Tournament. Why don't you walk us through that for you guys?
Well, I guess we were given another golden opportunity to come in and, just keeping the girls prepared mentally past the state tournament. Keeping their weight, staying together as a team, all those things, especially those seniors, getting another chance to be on the mat. It's pretty exciting for us at Franklin.
Well, I know I know you know a lot about it, obviously, but one of the things that I really loved about the old Team State was that opportunity for redemption when it was with the boys, and it was after the individual state finals. And so, like you said, you've got a couple of seniors who might have some unfinished business, and to win a Team State title would be a great way for them to end their careers at Franklin.
Yeah, for sure.
Tina, you want to tell them what happened to you last year? 12 hours notice, you came in and placed 4th, I think.
Yeah, that was a bit of a challenge for us, but the girls were super excited about it, and they pulled through on the last minute, and we were just thrilled to get that invite, and it was a great second round for us personally. It was something that we took a lot of pride in, and it was a close duel that second round, and we all remember it, that's for sure.
Yes.
Franklin last year beating LC 51-30 in the first round, then beating Whiteland 39-38, and then falling to Franklin Central, the eventual runner-up, and then taking 4th place after a loss to Jay County. So I guess you've got your sights set on finishing better than 4th this year.
Yep, we are hopeful.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us on the show briefly as we drew your opponent for the first round. We wish you lots of luck on Saturday.
All right, thanks.
So there you go. Franklin's got their opponent.
You know, we called her at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, said you're in the state tournament, and they come in, and I was like, whoa, they blew it away. That was great.
So we got 3 teams left to draw. We got opponents for the 6 seed, 7 seed, and 8 seed. Draw the next one out here for Logansport, and it will be Rochester. Rochester will take on Logansport in the first round. And Gary, why don't you draw the next one there for Hamilton Southeastern? I'm a former Hamilton Southeastern employee. I can't be mixing those things up. Hamilton Southeastern will wrestle Southridge in the first round, and that leaves, who's our last team here? I didn't mark them all off. Terre Haute North will take on Central Noble. So that completes our draw. We've got a couple of coaches yet to talk to. We got one scheduled for the very end of the show. But let's go ahead and talk to the head coach of the Lawrence Central team. If I can get this in here right. Coach Haddix.
Hello?
Hey, Coach Haddix, Rex Brewer, and Dane Filling along with Gary Meyer for the High School Wrestling Weekly. What you doing tonight? Just sitting around watching some radio?
I just got home, actually, waiting for the call. How are you?
We're great, and now you're going to talk about how your draw come out.
So, Coach Dane Filling here. Thanks for joining the show. You guys were drawn against number 2 seed Franklin Central, and I'd have to imagine that's a team that you know pretty well already.
Oh, yeah, we see them several times a year. My team is very familiar with these young ladies.
So tell us a little bit about your program, number of girls, and what kind of season you guys have had.
Well, so our season's been excellent overall. We started the season with 22. We ended the season with 20. And everybody but one has been wrestling for less than 16 months. So it's been the fact that they brought into this whole the whole process and the scheme that we do and everything, they've grown a lot over the last 2 years. They won the sectional last year, won it this year, but we're night and day better than what we were last year. Through their work, through their process, the seniors leading us, and it's been a great season so far.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you prepared this week for this team state tournament.
So preparing this week, everybody knows in the state that Franklin Central is amongst the best. So just getting them to believe, and they believe that they can win. And sometimes you got to steal matches every once in a while. Somebody might be a little bit better than you. They've got some hammers that are seniors, and just prepping to each individual person. We did that through the sectional. We did that through the regional. We were able to get 3 to state. Doing it that way, and hopefully, we can have an upset this week too. But it just comes down to daily preparation and going through the lineup. This is how this person wrestles in the next.
Well, you guys will be guaranteed 4 matches, and a very familiar opponent in the first round, but a potential unfamiliar opponent in the second round. So lots to be excited about, and we certainly wish you best of luck. And we want to thank you for helping us out on WZBD's side of things with the girls' state tournament and all that, and your efforts were definitely appreciated.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Once again, that was Coach Haddix from Lawrence Central. They'll take on number 2 seed Franklin Central in the first round of the girls' team state this coming weekend. Well, Rex, that wraps up our portion here for girls' team state. Gary, any last-minute thoughts, information that needs to get put out there?
No, I just I want to wish all the girls luck. I mean, we started this last year, and we want to give them the same opportunities that the young men have, and I think this is a great format, and there always is upsets, and that's the great thing about girls wrestling. You see a lot of upsets, and people coming in confident into this tournament, and but creating more opportunities for women is what we're here for. So that's all I have to say about that.
Well, Gary, I speak for Rex and myself that we enjoy every encounter that we have with you. And, I think back to maybe 5-6 years ago, we didn't really know each other, and we were just trying to find a little corner in Kokomo to make room for. And we introduced ourselves to you, and you said, I got you taken care of. And you got us a table Pat got us set up, and we haven't been missing the girls' state finals since.
Nope. And we started that with 87 girls 10 years ago at Hamilton Heights. Like 33 girls in the south and 37 girls, and we just did I-70, split it, and had 2 regionals, and brought the 87 girls to the state. And I was talking to Mr. Falcons. I think 2,700 girls are in his system.
And I will say this, from his interview that we had with him on Friday, you can kind of hear it in his voice.
He was tickled.
He feels that he kind of struck gold with throwing his weight and his support. And, we kind of bugged him about it a couple times for a couple years, and I'm sure that a lot of other people did. But ultimately, they jumped in, right? They could have kicked the can down the road for 5 more years if they had wanted to and said, well, it's not ready.
But do you know how it started?
But they did jump in and sanctioned it and went after it.
Let me just tell you how this started. I met him in the lobby of the IHSAA. I don't even know if he knew me. I just walked up to him and I said, hey, let me start the girls' state championships, show you what it looks like, and then you can take over whenever you want. But he just said, yes, let's do it. He shook hands. We're just in the lobby. And that's how this happened.
Well, you guys both deserve a lot of credit, and there's a lot of girls who probably at this point don't even really know the role that you played in the very beginning, because that's been so long ago. A lot of them think of how old they would have been, 5-6 years old in some cases. But that's the kind of thing we're talking about. When we talk to some of these girls in the interviews, I try to impress upon them, like, someday, 25 years from now, you're going to be a mom or a grandma, and somebody's going to be wrestling in that room. They're going to see a picture of you and realize that you were the one who who blazed the trail for that program.
Yes. I do want to give one shout out to the Huskies at Hamilton Heights, who you have ranked 15th in the state at 2A. That's all I want to say.
Okay, very good.
So Coach, we asked Robert Falcons about numbers. Did you guys get final numbers from this past Friday?
Of all the girls in the state?
No.
Oh, for attendance.
Attendance.
Yeah,
I did not.
Yeah, I don't think he's got those yet, but we'll hopefully have them next week, and we can talk about that as well.
I will tell you that the arena was maybe 65-70% full.
Yeah. I haven't gotten it from last year. Wouldn't you know it was last year?
We'll have to ask him. We'll see if we can come up with that. Well, we're going to say goodbye to Gary now on the show. We're going to bring in Wade in the next segment. We'll be right back after this.
Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new, or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair.
When faced with the difficult task of making arrangements for your loved one, many emotions and questions arise. What would they want me to do if they were here? Where is the money coming from? How much should I spend? Do they want burial or cremation? The staff at Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt Funeral Home can help you navigate these tough questions. Make your wishes known and allow us to make sure that your wishes are carried out. Call Ryan Hirschy or Eric Zelt at 260-724-7167 to schedule an appointment today.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Speaking of the Warrior RTC Training Center, we are joined by Coach Wade McClure. on this segment of the show. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Which burger did you go with tonight? Just a straight old burger with bacon?
Just did the straight old, deluxe double cheeseburger with bacon.
Oh, you missed the buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, Rex told me after I halfway through my burger.
Yeah. I was scrambling to get a good headset when you were ordering, so I would have recommended
you were scrambling.
Well, hey, I tell you, I did not see a whole lot of college coaches on Friday, but I did see some Indiana Tech coaches down there politicking and recruiting.
Yeah.
And we talked about it on the broadcast at one point, what an advantage Indiana Tech has to just look at the girls in that tournament and think, here's a potential crop of recruits that could really do a lot of good for the university.
Yeah, I know Paul, Coach Rademacher went down there. I think he took a couple of his athletes with him that probably wrestled in that tournament. He recruits the Indiana State tournament really hard, as we do for the boys too on the men's side. So there's a lot of good talent in Indiana.
What does that conversation look like? I mean, when you don't know a kid at all, and you've never trained with them, and they're from some other corner of the state that you haven't seen, what's that first line that you give them? Or you don't want to reveal your secrets.
No, I mean, like you're saying, we watch them. Like I was at the Al Smith tournament a few weeks ago, and you discover kid. You have a list of kids you want to go watch, and then you just always discover a kid or two that you just is athletic, tough, strong, beat somebody, or just you just see potential in them.
Do you point out, hey, I really like what I saw, or do you go straight to, have you ever considered wrestling in college? What is the way to go?
If we don't know him, I will ask him if he is interested in if he's thought about wrestling or going to college. Because if we know him, we probably know he's interested in going to college. So that's the first thing we ask him, and then we do definitely compliment him and tell him, I think he should consider wrestling in college if he's not.
You and I both know that there's a level of grittiness that is difference between high school wrestling and college wrestling. Not all great high school wrestlers make good college wrestlers. Not putting any high school wrestler down, but having wrestled in college, when you get in the room the first day and you go, this is different than high school.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah, so the thing we look at, like what we would compliment a kid on is like just their fight and how hard they compete. And not so much the skill and the talent. You can develop that and teach that. But, that's what you look for in a kid. If he just how well he competed in a tough match when he was the underdog or bouncing back from like the Al Smith tournament. Like I like to watch the consolation matches on the second day just to see how kids respond, when something doesn't go their way. So
well, I think that's it. It's one of those things you really learn, I think, who really has a passion for the sport and just enjoys the opportunity to compete rather than gaining accolades and things like that. And not that
100%.
that everybody loves winning and getting those accolades, but there are guys who, they come into a tournament and they have a goal and they don't reach that goal. They can kind of shut down, or after a long 2 days can show some different things. And then there's some guys who they could be wrestling the finals. You wouldn't know any difference.
Yeah. So you just look for a kid that just loves to compete, is consistent. It's recruiting. It's a funny game, but you're always trying to find those like characteristics in a kid and in their wrestling, and not so much about if they won or they lost. How did they win? How did they lose?
Now, the last time you were on here, we asked you who your new signings were for your newest recruits. Have you added any names to that list since we last talked?
We've got one kid from Ohio signed. He's ranked in the top 8 right now in Division I Ohio at 190 pounds. A kid we like a lot. And then, we're hopefully on the verge of getting a few Indiana kids that I think are pretty big names. Hopefully to get them. A lot of kids start to make their decisions about this time and right after the state tournament. So we're getting to the crunch time.
So I'm going to throw this out there. If you're still recruiting hard, I'm technically still enrolled at Indiana Tech, and I do have 2 years eligibility left.
Yeah, you could help our scholarship model.
I do.
A little bit. Yeah.
I hate it. I got to take accounting yet. That's the one I've taken accounting for the last 15 years. So.
Yeah, you still have it, so you can enroll.
Well, we are just wrapping up our dual meet portion of our broadcast season. We've got a broadcast on Tuesday for Belmont and Carroll, and on Wednesday we will have Norwell and South Adams, and then the focus really switches on the individual side of things. And I guess one of the topics that I wanted to talk about tonight is that switch. You as a former high school head coach can certainly speak to this. I don't know how many times it hit me in the last 2 weeks when we were covering duels about how many guys were put into situations where maybe they were in a 50-50 match, but they didn't need to win the match that they were in. They just needed to not get pinned or not get teched. And I could see guys get into situations where they wanted to pursue a scramble, but they knew that was going to put themselves at risk. And instead they bellied out, and they got their arms wide, and they saw out the match, and they won the match for their team. When you get to the individual tournament, those considerations go out the window, and it completely changes for an individual. How does that change for a coach? Is there a conversation where you sit them down at practice and you say, look, it's up to you now individually. There's no team score to keep track of anymore.
Yeah, I think, and we just had national duels with our college team just about the same time as the high school had their team state. And that week or two leading up for that tournament, I think you talk a lot about emphasizing getting pins, fighting off your back, doing the things to help your team win, and that helps you. That training is going to help you in the individual season. There's a byproduct of working on those things, but I think the biggest thing when you get out of that, away from team state duels or national duels, and you get focused on that individual part of the season, is just you want to get kids to wrestle free and open up and just go out and score a lot of points for themselves. You know, like you got to go out and don't worry about, like you said, don't worry about, there's no dual meet score. It's we got to score more points than the other guy in this match. You got to win to advance. And that's the way, especially in Indiana, there's not very many wrestlebacks and not a lot of second chances. So you just got to, I think this time of year, you focus on, you take that data from the season, you start focusing on those individuals and gearing towards what they need and not so much what the team needs to help you win as a team. And because how you win in the postseason is your individuals score points for you. That's how you do it. Advancing. Yeah, that's how you do it. So, yeah, I think you definitely change the way you train and the way you message to kids, because but it's exciting time, man. Every kid should be super excited about the postseason, and
there still should be some romance in winning a conference title. I know sometimes we only focus on the guys and who's going to make the state semis and who's going to be a state qualifier. But winning a conference title, when you look back on it, is a big thing regardless of what sport that you're in. And it should be celebrated. And I think sometimes I love talking about this point. Like, I think we wish away weeks of the season because we're always worried about 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. But, like, let's focus on conference tournaments and winning a conference title. Well, we've got teams here in Adams County who are absolutely setting that as their goal. They're focused on a team title. And there's also kind of a second chance, a redemption for some of these guys who maybe didn't get to participate in earlier rounds or haven't had the season that they wanted. But a big tournament could, individually could propel their team up a spot in the standings.
Yeah, the conference tournaments, I think, that are coming up. I know the NE8's this weekend, and it's a good opportunity to go out again and perform as an individual and get that mindset and focus on how are you warming up, how are you getting ready for your individual match, because it's not a dual meet, and then that's how the sectional and the regional and the semi-state is and the state tournament. So conferences. I was joking with some guys about, they always ask about how the NEI model works and how we do rankings and national tournament bids, and I like the way our division is because it puts an emphasis on the regular season. Like, the regular season matters. Like, you have to get ranked to get a bid for your conference tournament, which is the national qualifier. And in high school,
it's the opposite.
Like, the regular season doesn't really matter.
And you can use that to motivate kids and say, look, you can put all that behind you because it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If you're good enough to sectional,
yeah,
it's not going to matter. If you can't make the top 4 at sectional, then you don't deserve a spot at semi-state, right?
Right.
And everything that you did up to now, you can throw out the window. You can take those losses and you can avenge them.
Yeah, and so I think that's cool about the mindset of, like, you can tell kids, maybe he didn't have the greatest regular season, but you can get a kid going, like, hey, we got conference this weekend, let's go. It's about you. Let's get you turned around, let's get you going. And that sectional tournament, and it's just about, like I said, advancing. And if you get a kid in the right frame of mind, the right mindset, you can go far. And I hate to say that, but the regular season, like, you could win the Al Smith tournament, but that doesn't really mean anything. Doesn't mean much, So, or you could have had a bad holiday tournament, but you can turn it around and peak at the right time of the year. And so,
hey, Coach, I want to touch on, according to Warrior Tech, did you see some of those girls on the podium this Friday that are Warrior Tech girls?
Yeah, there's a girl. So Katie Rolls from Jay County's trained with us for a long time, and it was good to see her finish on the podium. I know she wanted to do much better than she did, but and then Haley Corporal from Eastbrook has spent quite a bit of time in our room the last year or so, and she thought she could have won the state tournament. She had lost a tough one in the semis in the last seconds, but she's only a junior. She got another year, but she's a girl that is constantly improving, growing, getting better, and we're excited about Katie. Katie's going to go to Indiana Tech for college, so we're excited about her future. Those are two girls that spend quite a bit of time with us that were at the
afterwards. I walked up on her and her dad and Troy Jacks were there, and I put my arm around her. I said, "You didn't do bad for a cheerleader."
Yeah, yeah. Not only a lot of people know, because she comes from a wrestling family. Her brother was a state place winner, and but she's only been wrestling for a few years. Yeah. I mean, she started as a freshman, and she's extremely hard worker. Just the sweetest person you'll ever meet.
Travels a lot during the summertime.
She puts a lot of work in. So yeah. Well, wish she could have finished on the top spot, but she's just got. I think she's got a super bright future. So in college, because of the character things that we were talking about earlier, she has those things.
We don't always get to give a lot of things away to you, but I don't know how tough Coach Myers thought the night was going to be, but he brought nose plugs. I don't know if that was that. So here's your lovely parting bit. You got some nose plugs to take off.
You might need actually never know when to put those in your pocket. Now, you were talking about being able to reset after the regular season, but one thing that we've noticed the last couple of weeks, and we'll give a shout-out to the Adams Central coaching staff, is that they have not backed down from some individual matchups over the last 3 weeks. And I know a lot of those guys are kind of your guys under your wing. And you can say that the regular season doesn't matter in that sense as far as what happens, and you can reset it. But it does show through, I think, once you get to the postseason and you realize who's wrestled some tough competition and who hasn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes that becomes very evident once you start to mesh these sectionals and regionals together.
Yeah, 100%. I was talking to we had a practice this afternoon. Wesley Hendrickson from Winchester was in our room, and he's a tough kid that I don't know if a lot of people don't know about, but they will. They'll find out here soon in the postseason. He is a kid that, Winchester's schedule is not the greatest, and I was kind of on him, on him all year about not just winning, but it's how you win. Like, are you executing technique and skill and the things that you need to do to win when that tough match comes? Because he doesn't have the benefit of,
Correct.
having that tough schedule. I think some of the area teams here, like you said, AC and Belmont, and some of these other teams have some pretty decent schedules. And then kudos, like you said, to going to seek out those tough individual matches because they're going to help you.
I saw it there in Lafayette. It was like Adams Central went out of their way to bump guys up against other teams to make sure that everybody on the team had a loss.
Yeah.
in a way.
Probably the best match I had this season was Sam Mosier goes from 44 to 50, and this is the first match down for August 50.
Yeah.
And I told Cody LeCount, thank you for bumping him up. Two good guys wrestling made the best match of the whole night, and everybody came to. That's what you want to come to see. You don't want to see guys coming up and missing each other just so they don't lose a match.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think it was obviously going to help out. Sam Mosier won the match, but it's probably going to help him in the postseason. And that's Dylan lost the match, but it's going to help. It's going to help him. I think those matches and those tests are good for kids. So yeah, good for the coaches doing that. I know as a coach, when we wanted to win dual meets. My AD when I was coaching high school, wanted us to win dual meets, but I was always thinking about big picture as a wrestling coach. Like how can we do the best service for our individuals? When that postseason comes. So it's a tough balance, but I think definitely once you get past team state, you got to be seeking out that competition.
Yeah, because it didn't hurt either one of them in any way.
No, and I'm sure it was probably the best move for Delta. I'm sure they were probably thinking winning dual meet, but it ended up working out. I'm sure they were also thinking too, like we want to get Sam Mosier a tough match.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to do a quick phone interview with Coach Mike Zelt of Mooresville to talk a little bit more girls team state. But we'll keep you on here, and we'll be right back after this.
Hello, this is Joel from
Love
your
being
local
like Zelt.
hometown Package Liquors. Package Liquors provides the best selection of domestic, import, and craft beers in Zeeland. With locations in Decatur, Monroe, Bern, and Markle, you're always just a short drive away from picking up the perfect last-minute gift or just the right six-pack to watch the game with friends. You're never a stranger when you walk through the doors, and our smiling staff never has a problem giving you a recommendation when you're not sure what it is you need. Stop in at one of our 4 locations and see what hometown service looks like. Package Liquors. It's where your friends shop.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
First Bank of Bern is proud to serve as the only local bank in Adams County. I'm Jessica Zerker with First Bank of Bern in Decatur. We believe that a bank's strength is rooted in the prosperity of the communities it serves. This drives our commitment to nurturing the success of businesses in our local area. We provide our customers with easy-to-use banking solutions and exceptional service as part of our dedication to fostering their growth. Whether it's through loans, lines of credit, cash management, or other tailored services, First Bank of Bern stands ready to support your business in thriving and prospering. First Bank of Bern, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
The staff at Haggard, Hirschy, and Zelt Funeral Home is honored to serve the community we love and live in. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Hirschy and Eric Zelt, we understand that each family we serve and each life lived tells a unique story. Our goal is to offer comfort, care, and dignity to all who entrust their loved ones to our care. We are proud to call Adams County our home and look forward to serving you for generations to come.
Welcome back once again to the Haggard Hirschy Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly, live from the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grille. Rex Burlong and Dane Filling, still joined by Coach Wade McClure.
Yeah, and Gary came up to us Friday at the end of the night after the tournament, after we've been on air for 12 hours, and he said, "Hey, how'd you like to put the team state draw together on your show?" And we said yes, we'd love to do it. And Gary gave us the seeds about 35 minutes before the show started. So we have not forgot about Coach Mike Sell from Morrisville, but I kind of had to pencil this in on the run, and we want to wrap things up with him. So, and good friends of Coach McClurg here. So,
hello,
Coach Mike Sells, Rex Brewer with the High School Wrestling Weekly. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thanks.
We didn't forget about you. We're still talking girls team state, so we got a friend of yours, Coach McClure here. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Coach McClurg's on too?
Yeah, I'm here, Dan. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Wade?
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good, good, good.
Well, Coach, you guys are the number 4 seed at Team State on Saturday, and you're going to take on Benton Central in the first round. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you've kind of approached this tournament and what you're going to do this week in practice?
Benton Central's a decent matchup for us. We have 4 ranked girls. I think they have 3. They got a couple more forfeits than we do. So it's kind of I think it's a good matchup for us, but it's a good matchup for them. So it'll be a good duel this week in practice. We're just going to get after it, and we know that after them we're going to have Franklin, and we beat them in a dual meet earlier. So I know they'll be hungry to get back at us, and they beat us in the conference, then we beat them in a dual meet. So we're pretty familiar with them. But we'll just get after it this week, and we'll work on some things that we've seen that that we need to improve on, and we'll just have to be ready to go. We'll make it fun for our girls because it's kind of an extra week of the season to practice and prepare and get ready, and so we'll try to make it as fun as possible for the girls, but we'll also make it to where we're working to improve and get better and focusing on the journey. That's kind of our motto: focus on the journey, focus on the process, focus on getting better. Focus on scoring points, focus on having fun, and, that's what we'll make it about this week.
So a bit of a rubber match on Saturday, you're telling me, between you guys and Franklin, potentially.
Certainly, potentially. I mean, we definitely are not looking past Benton Central. They'll be well coached. They'll have some good girls. We saw some of their girls we didn't see them in the season, but I know who they have, and they'll be pretty good. So we're not looking past them, but certainly if we get to Franklin, yeah, it'll be a little bit of a rubber match and a very familiar opponent. And Coach Jim Tante and I and Tina Tante we spend a lot of time together in the off season working on ISWA stuff, and I consider them friends. And but you know, we'll put that friendship to the side and compete and get after it.
How important do you think this team state tournament is for growing the sport long term?
Oh, I think it's vital. I think it's a great opportunity for girls to get some extra matches in, but it's also important to, you know, wrestling is an individual sport, but it has such a team aspect. You know, you can't advance as an individual and be good as an individual unless you have some teammates to push you and grind you, and, you know, iron sharpens iron, as everybody says. So that team aspect of wrestling is so important. We actually hosted a 16-team girls tournament back in November. Our only loss all season has been to Crown Point. We're 14-1 on the season. And Crown Point came down to our tournament, and we met them in the finals. And Coach Strayer's done a great job with those girls, and, man, they're really solid. So I feel like we're ready to go for a team tournament and for a duels, and, you know, we're excited about it. But as far as growing the sport, absolutely. That team aspect, man, girls, they love to cheer each other on. They love to be, you know, each other's best cheerleaders and get after it and yell and scream. And so the team aspect with that dual meet, sometimes you don't get that in that individual tournament like you do during duels.
Now, is this something that you think that the IHSAA should or might consider adopting long-term as well?
Certainly, as the sport grows, having a team duels is absolutely something that they should consider, because, you know, it definitely grows the sport and grows the girls and the camaraderie and so on. So absolutely, they should consider it.
Well, Coach, we wish you lots of luck on Saturday, and congratulate you on what's been a great season. And you guys have wrestled a really tough dual schedule, and I have no doubt that has prepared you for Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. So I appreciate the coverage and the interest.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, see you.
So, Wade, one little tidbit, little nugget that Dane sent me the other night. We broadcast 11 hours and some odd minutes. Last year, we broadcast 5 seconds shorter than we did this year.
So
with 2 days, all day, we broadcast 5 seconds longer this year than last year.
11 hours and 56 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. It's amazing how we did that. But we'd like to thank all of our guests that have been on tonight, Coach McClure, Coach Myers. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors, all the people that came out to see the show tonight. And stay tuned, because we're not done wrestling this year. We got lots more wrestling to come.
It's just begun.
With that, let's play the sound room. We'll talk to you next Sunday night here on a WDVD.
You've been listening to exciting high school wrestling. Brought to you in part by the many community-minded sponsors you heard. And a special presentation of 92.7 WZBD Sports.